Alright guys, what is going on? We're back with another Impact review. And wow, interesting show. Um I enjoyed a lot. Had a little bit of confusion. We'll wait until the end to talk about that. But we actually start off the show with a talking segment. Last, I'd say, month almost, it's been a match to start the show. So I was fine with them starting off with the talking point of the show for once, just because it's been match after match after match in the beginning of the show. So I was totally fine with it. So Bruce Pritchard comes out. He has hired Tyrus to be his bodyguard, and he talks about how the triple threat tonight. And really, before he gets going, EC3's out. EC3's out quick because you know what happened last week, where he knocked out Pritchard and everything. And then, well, actually, first here's Bobby Lashley, then EC3, and then here comes Magnus, then James Storm, pretty much everybody for tonight, and they kind of start pushing at each other, and Bruce Pritchard makes sure that everyone knows that if they get any contact with each other before the match, there won't be no matches on anniversary or something like that. So, basically, the match will get called off and no one will be number one contender. So, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense, keep them apart, whatever. So we go to our very first match, which is Congo Kong and KM versus Braxton Sutter and Mahabali Shera. And I gotta give it up for Mahabali Shera. I've been saying this each match he's had, that the guy has really gotten better since last year. 100% better. Like, it's insane. And to be honest, when they go over to India in a couple of days, really, that I would be fine if he got a big push. He's in India. He's back in his hometown. It makes sense for him to have a big push. And now that he's even better in the ring, it's fine for me. I'm not going to be upset about it. It just makes sense. So, it's a great match. But KM gets help from, whatever the hell Laura Van Ness's crazy ass is doing. She gets involved, tries to kiss Mahabali Shera, while Braxton Sutter getting his ass beat by Congo Kong on the outside. Congo steps on the ring apron and has Sutter, but drops Sutter, and KM rolls him up into a quick roll-up pin, obviously, and hits the 1-2-3. They brawl after the match. I mean, they kind of just brawled out of the freaking ringside or whatever. I enjoyed the match, because when Allie got involved, that place went nuts. She came in, hit a crossbody, which pretty much led to the roll-up pin by KM. So I don't think this rivalry is over. I hope Slammiversary they wrap this thing up. Just like the Davey Richards Eddie storyline, I hope at Slammiversary they wrap it up. So after this match, we get the Josh Matthews reveal. Josh Matthews comes out and he comes out trying to apologize for everything, and when Borash goes to shake his hand because Josh Matthews says he's sorry, whatever, here comes Joseph Park and urges him not to shake his hand. Josh Matthews flips the switch, says he is not sorry, he never will say sorry, and Joseph Park wants to fight Josh Matthews right now. Before the bell actually rings, they're going to have a match. Here comes Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner comes in, and he hits the Steiner recliner. They roll out of the way, and then he starts chasing Borash. That's the part where I was like, really? That just got too long. You could have just came in, hit the Steiner recliner. None of this running around chasing bullshit. It would have been better, a lot better that way. But honestly, I still did enjoy it because it's Big Papa Pump. That dude was awesome to watch. So honestly, I'm excited for this. Obviously, Impact kind of spoiled it themselves when they put out the thing before all the dirt sheets did. So, yeah, I mean, we all knew this was going to happen. It was so cool to actually witness the whole thing, even though I think it just ran a bit too long. Just wrap it up quicker. But, hey, Slammiversary shaping up actually to be pretty good. So we get the VOW versus Mario Bokura and Falaba. This was actually another decent match. Not nothing to go crazy over, but it was, good enough to sit through and watch. VOW does get the win with another. That finish move is pretty good. It's kind of like a 3D, but they do it a little bit differently. Falaba and Mario Bokra, I've said this every time they've had a match. Really, can these guys get pushed? Because these guys are great. If you've never heard of them before Impact, obviously Monster Factory, you can probably look it up on YouTube, but Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, they've been on there, and I've seen a lot of their matches from there. So I was feeling familiar with it, and I'm enjoying their work, but I just wish they would pick up a little bit more of the wins. It would be nice to see it. So we get Eli Drake in the back. He's cutting a promo on how Moose was pretty much in the wrong place, wrong time. Moose comes out talking about how, you know, he's going to beat his ass next week, which Eli Drake suggests that he'll get his match. So Eli Drake comes over and starts beating his ass. Then out of nowhere, Chris Adonis comes up, jumps him too. Security finally does break it up. So next week, we're going to get a match between Moose and Eli Drake. Also during the main event, they did announce that next week as well we'll get Low Key versus Andrew Everett. So that should be pretty interesting. Next week is already shaping up to be a decent show. We get our... I would say one of my favorite things of the night. It was Alicia and Eddie Edwards versus Davey Richards and Angelina Love. This match was great to watch. They had brought up during the show that last month when they had their last Man Stadium match that on YouTube they're over 4 million. It's 5 million, almost 6 million now. Every time they say something about it, I'm pretty sure it goes up in views. But that match was pretty damn good. This match was good too. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards destroyed each other, and then when Alicia gets in, her and Angelina are going at it, and Alicia gets a quick roll-up pin, and I was shocked that it ended that way, but I get it. No one got cleaned, pinned, like just on top, 1, 2, 3. It was a quick roll-up pin, shocking. Yeah, storyline continues because after it, they cuff Eddie to the ropes. And Angelina power bombs Alicia through a fucking table, which I thought was awesome. They're killing each other. I mean, after the match, Davey is choking Eddie, telling him to die. Just really kill. Like, I was like, what the hell? That was so awesome. There's nothing else I can say. Yeah, a guy getting choked out saying that he needs to die. Yeah, it was awesome. Davey Richards is just so great at being a heel. I hope this ends at Slammiversary and he goes on to Bound for Glory to win a title. That's my one wish. This dude needs a title around him. He is a great heel worker, and put a title around him, just be so much better. But before we get into our main event, I always forget something. After the Mahabali Shira and Braxton Sutter match, they were holding on to Ali, about to beat her ass. Laura Vanessa and Sienna were. And out of nowhere, here comes the Decay's music hits. Well, actually, it's Rosemary's music now. Here comes Rosemary, and Sienna's looking over like, yeah, we're about to kill you now. And Rosemary, face turn confirmed. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But she did get in the face and knock out Sienna and Laura Van Ness with a Red Wedding. What is this? During this week, they've been doing a little thing on Twitter. Who is more powerful? Who's more devastating? And it kind of shocks them because everybody's thought, including myself, that at Slammiversary they would pretty much merge all the titles. Maybe this match will lead into Slammiversary. That's why we're starting something off here. If that makes sense, yes, obviously do it. We'll see what happens. Just keep it going. But I liked it. Rosemary needs to do something. She has not been seen since Decay left. We need her doing something because Rosemary is just too great not to have on the show each week, or at least every other week. Come on now, put her on the show. So we get our main event, but before that, the funniest part of the show, here's Rockstar Spud. He was promised to be back in the Impact Zone tonight. Well, he's laying on a couch or somewhere, and he's talking about his doctors, his trusted doctors in the UK said that he cannot compete. He needs to wait at least one more week. And then his mom starts screaming, Spud, and he's like, kayfabe, Mom, kayfabe. I died, dude. That was hilarious. That was pretty damn funny. So now we can finally get into our main event. That was fucking great. This was the one thing in the show that made the show great. Like, throughout the show, it was a decent show. It was like, it's good matches, but really, is it? Yeah. So this main event was fucking great. James Storm, this is pretty cool because when you get this to happen with all the crowd, it's pretty awesome. It makes them all silent. Hits the chop and the crowd goes nuts. I fucking love that stuff. But I don't know why I like that so much, but when any like that small arena like that, when you all get them to be quiet, which doesn't take much in the Impact Zone, but whatever. Really, Magnus and EC3 kind of teamed up a lot for this match until after the final commercial break when they come back. And Magnus is holding up James Storm and hits the kendo stick, but Storm moves into one to the side of Magnus. James Storm, this is pretty funny too. James Storm was over on the mat trying to get back up, and each time EC3 was trying to say sorry to Magnus, he'd say sorry, bam, hit James Storm. Sorry, bam, hit James Storm. So finally Magnus is like, give me the kendo stick. EC3 picks up James Storm, and again James Storm ducks, and Magnus hits EC3. So this is all comes to a triple threat basically then. Which really ends up happening is Magnus and James Storm goes up to the top. Magnus gets put into a tree of woe. So here comes EC3 getting on top of Magnus and trying to superplex Storm off. Magnus comes up, gets a gut wrench, German suplex, while EC3 is superplexing James Storm. Love that move. Thought it was pretty damn great. So now Magnus and EC3 eventually get on the top rope. Magnus pushes EC3 off. James Storm picks him up, throws him right into the chair set up in the corner, hits a neck breaker. Tries to go for a pin. Looks like when he's about to get 3, Magnus off the top rope with an elbow. Thought that was pretty cool. And when EC3 gets up, jumping 1%er. Honestly, that was pretty cool the way he pulled out that 1%er. James Storm hits the last call super kick on Magnus, but out of nowhere, somehow EC3 gets up. I don't remember what happened to him. I think it was another elbow drop off the top from Magnus. EC3 gets up, knees him, gets him out of the match. After the last call super kick, Magnus is still down, steals the victory. So once again, we'll be seeing Bobby Lashley versus EC3. But wait, what the f are we doing with Alberto El Patron? For the past month, they've said that the GFW title is a golden ticket, and whoever has it probably is going to get the main event of Slammiversary. So we finally get that, and they make a fucking #1 contenders match. The match was good, but I don't get why they really needed it. I thought we would finally get the singles match between Bobby Lashley and El Patron that everybody's wanted to see a rematch of since what happened. That confused the shit out of me. Like, that's the one big gripe I had about this show. I knew after watching it last week, I was like, yeah, okay, this is kind of confusing. We'll see what happens. And then when they went through with it, I just, why? What's the point? Because you've got Alberto El Patron. Luckily, they have a month to clear this shit all up. July 2nd, Slammiversary. They've got a month. Hopefully, they do something with it. And it's not confusing, but when Slammiversary hits. So that being said, you've heard what I've got to say about this episode of Impact. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Tell me what you thought about the show down in the comments below. And I am out. Thank you so much for watching.